Welcome everyone, and welcome back to our instructional videos. This is number 6 in our discussion about the light cell energy frequency bodies of light. So today we're going to continue on with that whole concept of what are light cell energy frequency bodies of light. What are we doing here on this planet with them or without them? And how are we progressing along our particular timeline of thought? So everybody's own energetic body of light is their energy frequency light cell, their body of light. When we are working in synergy or in synergistic movement with other beings of light, they replicate their own energy systems or fields of light within their dynamite system of light, which is their energy frequency light cell bodies of light. And they coagulate their energy streams with our thoughts, with our hopes, our wishes, and our dreams. And we come into alignment with them down certain or particular timelines of thought. And when we all coagulate together, we become a system of energy that replicates new beings of thought, new energy waves of time along particular or certain timelines within the energy grid of timeline technology. When we, once upon a time, were relating to other fields of energy outside of time, outside of our timelines, let's say, we were holding our own light cell frequency bodies of light. We were delegating them to higher and higher insights of white light, of perfection, of perfected light. And when we decided that we would work to create a dream of light, we created these essences of perfection, of perfected dreamland states of being. And we became more than what we ever were before. We became angelic beings of light. We became force fields of light that were not very bright, and we became tangents of light on other districts of light. So all the downlines of time, whether they're from lesser divine lines or whether they're from the higher divinity angelic encoded lines, or whether they're from far reaches of the universe, way beyond time, we all decided to coagulate our thoughts, bring our streams of energy light together here on the planetary grid of Mother Gaia, to create an essence of light that was incredibly, awesomely bright. It held a force field of the highest light. So it encoded the angelic light, the angelic streams of energy beings. It encoded downlines of time that were not very divine. And we encoded higher light cell energy frequency bodies of light that were beyond time and space, that were given over to a higher race. And once we all came together and decided in these energy codes of light to create an awesome viability of working together, of teamwork, of team spirit light, we created these essences, these bodies of light, which we shall call the light cell energy frequency bodies of light. They are angelic light. They are angelics encoded in the higher light. And once we defrosted some of our higher light to fit into this category of light on Mother Gaia, we began to steam clean our original dreams. So we began to align with certain frequencies out of time, and we became part of that process that wasn't divine. So we had all these different layers of thought. We had the less dynamic viewpoints. We had higher degrees of energy than we've ever even seen before. And we've had other streams of energy light that were not as complex as the rest of the genealogy here on the planet. So it was a mix. It was this giant ball or sphere of energy that came to clear the planetary significance here, Mother Gaia, Earth, before time began here. So everybody joined in other words. All of the very high sky lights, we're going to call them, all of the off-world genetics came to land here. All of the dynamic codes of other lands, of future lands, of priority listings here. Everybody wanted to clear their genetic codes. And they learned that if they could upload their light cell energy frequency bodies of light into these dynamic earth codes of light, they could reprocess them to higher and higher offshoots of light. So many of us came here to clear our engineering, to clear our structures of light, to clear our frames of reference of light here on your planet, on your planetary grid. Mother Gaia knew enough how she would perform her duties of light here before she gathered enough strength and energy and steam, if you will, to propel herself into these ancient technologies of light. And they helped her to create her systems that were very bright. So many downloads of many higher lights came through this channel into the light. And many other beings of light came through in a dynamic system of light that created the grids of light on your planet and many others beyond. So everybody came within their light cell energy frequency bodies of light to restore their encapsulations in their higher light. Many eons ago, we witnessed the truth, and the truth bears witness to many other beings of light here on your planet. This globe of significant value to the whole central plan of what we're doing here. Many ages ago, all of us uplifted your planetary significance to the light, so Mother Gaia knew which direction she would flow in. And these awesome responsibilities and connectivities to the higher light gained strength within the membranes of her spirit light. And she was able to download any instrument that she sought to use to help her create less resistance to the higher light. So many beings of light came through who were not auspiciously maneuvering their higher shields of energy light to program and to test and to retest all of these awesome responsibilities, connectivities, directions, higher guidance to the higher light. Everything was put to the test. Many of us saw what level of stress we were able to handle. So it became a testing ground. Planet Earth, Mother Gaia, planet Earth, your planet Earth, has been a testing ground for many millennia. And we all found out how source energy codes in alignment with the higher, more elastic type of energy fields can be worked. Many of us fell behind what we had thought we had planned or dreamed to do. So some of us went on and went forward into the light. Some of us gathered more strength, and then we were able to combat the lower fields of light here on your planet and in your planetary grids of light. So when we all came together, it seemed like a battle of truth. Truth and will to survive here. But many of us learned that to survive through will was a technique. It was a learned skill. And on your planetary light grid, the cellular light energy frequencies of bodies of light, they hid their true essence from themselves. So they could go into downlines of time that were not very divine. And once in a while, there was a skill that was learned that was very discerning in the higher light. And we started to propel that image into the higher frequency lines of time for all of us to gain ground here on the planet. So we began to work with the energy of the shields of light on the planet and the planetary grids. All of this changed over time. All of us worked with the divine energy, excuse me, as well as the lesser divine entities of light. And as they were reprocessing their higher lights, we began to dream of a vision, a visionary light that would come over Mother Gaia and enlighten her. And these light cell energy beams of thought from our higher mind, our third eye, we discovered that we could create a dream of light here on the planet that would uplift any delinquent or lesser than bodies of light. And it was an awesome connectivity, starting this maneuver over and over and over again within your shields of light. And soon your light cell energy frequency bodies of light became engulfed with the higher light. So we knew how to expose lower beings of truth and wisdom in their own light to the higher fields, the frequencies of the higher light. So they were exposed to the higher truths, the higher mind's eye, and they were able to function at higher and higher fields of light as a result of their own wisdom light turning them or tuning them into the highest shields of light given on this planet. It's a planet of rebirth. Anyone who comes here to be reborn is of the highest light. Anyone who is using their own field of energy, their electrical light, their electrons, for higher purposes, were born of higher light and are being reprocessed in higher and higher streams of light. So we all came into this process of rebuilding each other's light. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a very limited time in this time and space encapsulation of thought. And we're maneuvering, we're working with, we're delineating which lines of time had the rebirth mechanism built into them, and other lines of time that did not. So for a while on your planet, you are having the haves and the have-nots in place of complete total light. So this is your duality system. And this is what you've come forward to delineate to your higher timelines that you wish to realign. You wish to dream the dream of light, of highest light, on this planetary grid to lift everybody's light. So there will be no more fear or disliking this way of being here. There's no more essences of fear to be cleared, because we have now engineered the energy systems to release fear. And that's been the truth mechanism that we've been speaking about. From our lower minds to our higher mind's eye, we begin to retrace the roots of our existence from one awesome technology to another. And when we are in the grids of light where we were not feeling very bright, in other words, the lesser, darker lines of time, we start to see there is a propensity to move forward, to shelter. There's a place to shelter our higher light. So it won't get caught up in these old thought waves or old dreams of light that were combined with lesser light. Our thought shields, our fields of light, are all wrapped up now inside of these light cell energy frequency bodies of light that we have commanded to return to the higher light. And as we are genetically encoded in these higher and higher beams of light, we begin to understand the rays of time that we came in on. And we were blessed and we were divine. We were higher than the higher mind. And all of us came together for a very high purpose, an awesome connected purpose of light, to shelter each other as we became angels of great height. And as we took flight, as our energy light progressed in higher and higher streams of light, we became more energetically in a line with our higher divinity lines of time. The depressed lines were released and relaxed out. There was a gateway of thought. There was a viability that was taught. We came forward to discern which energy that we were co-aligning with. We wanted to bring the highest truth and wisdom possible into this lineage of time for our timelines to be rerouted from the less divine to the energy of the higher mind. That is a frequency of divine mind. And we complicated your system a little bit more so you would make sure that you understood it, that you got it, that you knew how to, in a way, you wrecked yourself to be able to start a new beginning. So there's that destruction momentum that creates, like the phoenix. The phoenix, rises from the ashes and is born into a new way of being. So it's the same. We went through this destruction process to align with the higher processes of light that are creationist energy light. So there was this momentum of dark and light on your planet. It's a rebirth momentum. You go out of the dark and into the light. You fracture a lot of your higher energy into your higher insight, your higher wisdom. And this is the beam of light that takes you into the understanding of your corporeal light, your wisdom light, your energy light, and your light cell energy frequency bodies of light. They hold the truth and the wisdom, in other words, of your being here. They're a downline of time that has been resuscitated over your divine divinity lines. So all of this kerfuffle we've been going through on your planet is a little hint of what we're about to do with the higher energy codes. And all of you have been entraining your thoughts to higher lights. These light cell energy frequency codes of light are burning very brightly within your significant timelines. And all of these significant lines of time are your divinity lines. They're encoded with the higher mind. So it becomes, as we've used the term before, a vestibule of thought. It's an energy coding. It's an encodement. It's a coating. It's a wrapper filled with great delights. You know, when you get your candy bars and you unwrap it and you have an excitement. Wow, this is going to taste really good. I love this particular candy, whether it's chocolate or whatever. And you have that excitement and you open it up and there is the treasure within the package, within the wrapping, within the encoding of the light. So all of our energy frequencies are stored in a higher vestibule of light, which we have nicknamed our light cell energy frequency bodies of light. And they give downlines of time an excessive energy field where they will feel the need to be part of the higher light. And when they're encoded in these higher genetic dream codes, they become turned on to the higher light. And they like it. It feels good. Like when you finally get to eat your candy bar, your chocolate bar. It tastes good. You've waited a long time to get through all that wrapping. You had to go to the store, you had to pay for it, you had to bring it back, to sit down, unwrap it. It took all this time to process eating the chocolate bar, the candy bar. When your first thought came in your mind, oh, I really feel like going out and treating myself and feeling good, and I'm going to go buy a candy bar. So there's a lot to do in the physical from the time you think that thought and you dream that wish. Wow, I really wish I had a candy bar right now. I'm really hungry, or I'm really desiring sugar and candy right now. You have a sweet tooth and you want more candy. So there's time involved. You have to walk to the store, you have to drive to the store somehow, some way. You have to spend the time to get from wherever you were, dreaming and thinking and wishing about that candy bar, to the point where you go and you purchase it and you bring it out of the store and you go and you eat it. You sit down on a park bench, you take it home, you go for a walk and eat it. And then you have to unwrap it. You have to find a garbage can or a trash bin to throw the garbage in, the wrapping in. And then you get to actually eat it and enjoy it. But there was time. It didn't go right from the moment you thought, I really wish I had a candy bar, to like instant gratification of you eating it the next second. It doesn't work like that in third dimensional arenas of thought, which is what we're in here on Mother Gaia. So there's that time lag from the moment of producing the thought wave to the creationist thinking of, how do I bring this about? Well, I've got to get my money. I've got to get to the store. I've got to do this, and this. All the steps that it took for you as creationists to bring your dream or wish into the physical state of being, where you can eat it, taste it, enjoy it, love it, And this is what we're doing with our light cell energy frequency bodies of light. We're enjoying this aspect of our higher light, because within the cell membranes of light are held less resistance to the higher light. And the more we work on creating this creationist momentum here on the planet, the more delight you will take with each bite. Each time you send out a creative wave, a thought of what do I want to see here, you're actually working with the higher realms of time. You're working with divinity lines. You're encoding the new lines of time. So all of these momentums of thought are put towards what it is that you want. And it takes time for this sequence of thought to develop into the physical matter of the planetary grid. And others around you see that this is what you want to create. So the store clerk helps you. Yes, I'll take your money. Yes, I'll give you the candy bar. The man or woman at the gasoline station provides the gasoline for your car if you're driving. Okay? And if it's cold out and you need to put a coat on to go for a walk, you've already gone to a store, bought a coat or a sweater and jacket, and you've put it on. So there are always helpers along the way for you to create your vision. The light cell energy frequency bodies of light all come together on the planet, and we work together to help each other. So we're not just one person on our own, or one light cell energy frequency body of light. We're massive consciousnesses of awareness here on the planet. So many of us came from off-grid, from off of your planet. Many beings in the light have come from off-grid planets of other planetary significances. In other words, other bodies of light. And all of our streams of light work together in synergy to create the vision of light here on the planet. Mother Gaia works within her own frame of reference, her own planetary grid, which is made up of the light cell energy frequency bodies of light, of many beings of light, of the highest light. It's all genetically encoded in your downlines of time. If you want to feel less resistance to your higher mind, then go and research the lesser lines of time. They will show you and guide you to your higher mind. That's because it's always encoded in the downlines of time. They reverberate with knowledge and wisdom and understanding and light, and they show you the way to the higher light, because we've all been pre-recorded in the light. We have downloads of messages, of timelines, all through our thought waves in the light cell energy frequency bodies of light. They are a storage depot. In other words, they hold the highest frequencies of light here on your planet and in your planetary grid of light. They hold those essences of purity, of pure form of light. There is nothing higher than pure light. It's a radiant light. It's beautiful white formations of light. And they're all caught in your planetary grid of light. Mother Gaia knows how to restore her higher insight. She's been taught this. She's been born of this for many, many eons of time. And all of us can learn this, not to be trapped on our downlines of time, but to regurgitate the higher mind and come back to our divine essences of light. Because we were all born of white light. We're born of the sound and frequency of white light. No more genetic interference can be tolerated on this planet or in the planetary grid of Mother Gaia's light. No more resistance is tolerated here. We're beings beyond time. We created thought lines, time waves. We created essences of light. We created depositories of light. We created recordings of light. All of this information is gathered within the light cell energy frequency bodies of light. They're very important to you, to us, at this particular momentum in the timeline grid. They were hidden far more times beyond what you can even imagine. And they've all been stored and restored in your magnetic core, your magnetic codes of light. Hold them. So in essence, you are a beautiful light cell energy being of thought. It's a thought wave. It's a genetic core of light. It's beautiful. Your DNA holds your structures of light. And they proceed to give you such a higher insight into what white light is, into how we were all born of light. We see the grid of light. We see the technology of our higher insight. We see the encoding in the ethereal light. It all becomes an aspect of higher light. So we're all genetically encoded in these higher divinity lines of time, whether we are aware of that or not. It's still there. It doesn't negate its existence. And its beauty. It's performing in the highest light. They're performance structures in the highest light cell energy frequency bodies of light here on your planet. And we've generated so much truth and wisdom for you than ever before. So now we're delineating how to go to your core, how to go to your root chakras, how to want more from life, how to engage in the higher light. It's beautiful. Everyone who is in resistance to their higher light knows from whence they came, at what time they will be genetically encoded in the higher light, and when they're going to shift off of this planet. Because the planetary grids hold all the downlines of time. And everybody's energy systems are really divine. Whether they're from the lesser divine lines of time or the greater, we're all of divinity lines of time. That is what a time capsulation frequency is all about. So we go in, we reprocess our thoughts, our thought waves, into a higher technology, waves of being, and we reprocess that light. Because everything is born of light. And the blue light cellular energy frequency structures of light are born of blue light. So they're all reprocessing in their own field of light. All of the downlines of time can shift their energy into less divine lines of time or greater lines of time. It's whichever mode you're switching into. You can switch on, you can switch off your templates of time. You can maneuver them into less divine lines. You can hunker down and do your work here and do a really super job and project your thoughts along your divinity lines of time and graduate on the higher divinity mind, the line of time. Or you can downgrade and go into the lesser divine lines of time. It's whichever encapsulation in whichever timeline you're choosing. If you choose less resistance to the light, you will be motioning yourself into the higher divinity light. If you want more resistance to the higher light, you will sink into the lower reverberations of the lower lines of time that are less divine. So it's wherever you are in your energy systems of light. So whichever way you want to project your subconscious awareness is the energy field that you will create to bind yourself to higher light or higher light cell energy structures of light, or less than divine structures of light. But it's all encapsulated into the light cell energy frequency bodies of light that you came forward with and into these higher streams of energy light on and coexisting on the planet. So we're born of a beautiful, high, brilliant blue light. If we come in to work with the genetic ray, the blue ray of time, we're working our divine energy line of time. If we're coming in lesser divine lines, we're working the fifth ray, the generational ray of time, to goad us into the higher divinity lines of time. The blue rays are already here. They're already genetically clear. Okay? They don't need to focus on fear. They don't really have that much fear. They don't carry that frequency line of time. So their momentum is different on their timeline because they're divinity lines of time. The lesser divine lines of time coming in on the fifth genetic ray, they're working on their divinity lines of time to be encoded in the higher mind. So we're all genetically clear. In one way or another, we're going to all be cleared. It doesn't really matter which way you want to play your game because you're going to arrive at the same destination. Perhaps different timelines, perhaps different wavelengths of time, but genetically everybody will be of a clearer mind. So the fifth dimensional blue rays come in a higher wavelength. The archangelic fifth blue rays of time come through and they supercharge all the energy in the angelic spheres of light. The downloaded, encoded messages of light come through the generational blue rays designated over specific timelines of thought. So genetic blue rays, angelic, archangelic systems of rays of time. There are genetic rays that are less divine, and there are some that have climbed ahead of time. So they go on, they project their images into higher lights, and their dreamland states are very different from ours that are already being generated on the planet. Theirs are shifted off planet, and they go off into different modes of time, areas of time, designations of timelines, and timeline planetary grids. So everybody has their own pathway of light. The light cellular energy frequency bodies of light predetermine which encoding you have in the higher light. So all of these projections into higher lines of time were created to give you the higher mind, the higher divinity lines of time, encoded with the higher mind. Other beings of light who didn't have very high energy codes to begin with were relegated to a different time load, different timelines, different time codes. We're all being uplifted in the light, however. We're all genetically being engineered to be clear, and we're all leaving our footprint here. So Mother Gaia knows exactly which route we're taking. It's similar to hers at times. It's divergent from her at times. It's more auspicious at other times. It's less auspicious at certain times. So we're kind of all over the place. And that's what's so interesting about your planetary grid. You can hide your energy for a while there, and then you can open it up and go, wow, I didn't know I had all of this in here to help me with. I didn't know I had so much technology of light cell energy frequency body of light here. So then we generate more energetic sphere encoded energy of light, and we become angelic light, because that's the higher divinity encoding in the higher plane of light. So everyone resuscitates at a different time and space, different planet, some off world, some on, and other times and spaces and other places, other races, other beings of time. It's all a mishmash here on this planet, because we're all coming in to complete our mission and encode ourselves in the highest divinity line of time that we've created along our timelines of energy thought. Everything is a thought. Everything is wisdom. Everything is understanding. Everything is a complete picture of what the light cell energy frequency bodies of light are doing here on your planet and in the planetary grids of time. So as we're working through the less divine lines of time, we're working to generate our higher mind. That is the significance of being here in our light cell energy frequency bodies of light. At this time, we're progenitors of a higher race in time. And then once that encapsulation gets rewound again, we're going to start the process again. So we come back in at a certain juncture point in time, and we work the less divine lines, we project that thought onto the higher mind, and we become rebirthed in a new sign of time. This is all genetic ray timeline encoding on the higher lines of time. So we're all fifth dimensional blue ray children of the light. We're all expressive energies of divine light, divinely encoded light, and we're all fifth dimensionally encoded in our higher lines of time. That's what we came to ground here. It was basically that. That's it in a nutshell. There's a lot more to it, but in the thought waves of time, but basically we're genetically clear. We come in as blue rays, as off-planetary grid beings, as super light cell energy frequency charged light bodies. We come in from all accesses and walks of life throughout the planetary significance of light, as well as others, off-world and cosmos, from the cosmos, and etc., etc. And we all generate fifth dimensional angelic frequencies of light. If we're encoded in our downlines of time correctly, we begin to see that. We seed that energy in the higher mind. But some come in as true blue rays of time, and they've already been genetically encoded in the higher divinity mind and lines of time. So there's no more encoding to be done for them. They come in to clear other people's lines of time. And that's what we're all doing here. We're all coming here to clear. So some are already generating new truths. Some are already on the wisdom lines of truth and energy systems of light, and others are being brought forward to the light from their fifth dimensional rays of time. But we're all but we're all encoded in the final ray of time, and that is the blue ray of light, time wave, thought. So the darker lines of time get regurgitated along the divinity line. The blue ray juxtapositions itself in a way that is refreshing that energy code, and then all of it gets exploded into the neural network codes on the planet, the planetary grid of time, and everyone becomes divine. That is the energy mind, the higher energy blue ray encoded line of time. So we're generational beings of higher divinity lines. It's an awesome networking of divine lines of time, and our blue genetic rays of time are encoded over many timelines. Many aspects of our divine lines come here with energy to clear the planetary grid of fear, and they come here to be very clear themselves in their own lines of time. So once they have created their divine minds, they already are processing the energy in trine, in momentum with Mother Gaia's divinity line. So we're all working together to be blessed on our higher divinity lines of time. All right. So our expression of our higher mind comes through to all. Anyone who listens gets the downloads of time within their higher mind, within their divinity codes, within their engineering of their light. So when we're moving from certain strictures of time into our divinity mind, it becomes encoded to the higher light. That's the recipe for turning on your light, very bright. So, blessings everyone. Take care of yourselves and others. Learn how to play the game of light, and you will resuscitate your codes very high and bright. All right. We'll continue on with our talk another day. And so stay tuned for instructional video number 7 will be coming up soon. All right. Take care, everyone. Blessings always.